Hope everyone can hear me okay. I appreciate so very much the theme of this lectureship and the good job that you've done putting this together, reaching the lost. That's what we are all about as New Testament Christians, and that's something that I know you are interested in, but based upon your attendance this morning. But I want to tell you a little bit about World Bible School today, and I want you to pay particular attention to our name. We are World Bible School, not World Video Bible School. And I sometimes get introduced on occasion as World Video Bible School, and they are a great work, and I appreciate what they do very much. But we are World Bible School, and we've been around for since 1973. But I want to tell you that World Bible School is all about you sharing Jesus. That's what we're all about right there on the screen as we think about the fact that we're here to reach the lost and to teach those that are in need of hearing the gospel of Jesus Christ. And as World Bible School attempts to provide you with tools and resources to be able to do that, and that's one of the things I like about your lectureship format, that you are providing the opportunity for people to learn different ways of teaching the lost. And there are numerous brotherhood works, and many of them are represented here, that are very capable of doing exactly that, and we want you to know about World Bible School and what we have to provide. But World Bible School is a Bible correspondence course that's designed to teach the lost, and as we do that, we realize there are multitudes of people that need to hear the gospel. But as I said, we've been around since 1973, and there have been over 35 million people taught the gospel of Christ through World Bible School. Now, it isn't us. It's people like you that are doing the teaching. We're simply providing the names and addresses and the materials for you to be able to do that. But as we think about the multitudes of people in the world that need to hear the gospel, those 35 million are a great number, but it doesn't even begin to touch the 7+ billion that we've already heard about being in existence. But this was our enrollment numbers for 2018, and you notice that we enrolled almost 1.5 million students last year. Now, we're grateful for that, but we want to reach many, many more. And with your help and you providing the teaching power and support and so forth behind us, we're going to be able to do that, hopefully, in the future. But we think about those, as you look at the postal students, they far outnumber the number of people that we have signing up on the internet, even though the internet teaching is quite popular and is growing in popularity. But nonetheless, the postal has been around for many years and continues to be the most popular usage in the countries around the world. But if you do a little bit of math, about every 22 seconds, World Bible School is signing up a new student. Now, I didn't see the scrolling numbers a moment ago that we saw about how many births there are per second, but we think about World Bible School, I don't think we're keeping up with the birth rate, but 22 seconds we sign up a new student, and we want that to even increase as we go through our process of helping you fulfill the Great Commission. And we've heard a lot about the Great Commission. In fact, I hope all of you were here last night and heard Brother Clark give us a great, great message on reaching the lost. And as he began his sermon last night, he went through the first 4 or 5 slides, and my wife looked over at me and said, "He has your presentation." Well, he had some of the same thoughts and ideas that I have in other presentations that I do. And afterwards, on the way back to the hotel, she said, "How did it work out that he had the same thoughts and things that you do?" I said, "Well, probably because we believe in and are preaching from the same book. Because we are one message, brethren, and that is to reach the lost, to fulfill that great commission that Jesus gave us." And we think about that commission, and we're all very familiar with it, but World Bible School addresses both ends of that, because Jesus said, "Go and make disciples in every nation," and then he tells us to teach them all things whatsoever he's commanded to us. And we look at that in the respect of teaching through the form of World Bible School. And we have 7 lesson booklets that I'll show you in just a moment that are designed to teach the lost and teach them after they obey the gospel as well. But we offer a free Bible study to people in every nation of the world. And since 1973, it's been done through the postal, but we also do it now on the internet as well. Now, either one of these methods is very effective, and they both use the same material, same format, although the teaching on the internet is broken down into smaller segments for the sake of getting across the internet without bogging someone's computer down while it's downloading. So we have it in smaller segments, but it's the same lesson booklets that are taught in each one of those. Now, I looked at our website last week, and I want you to notice we had over 5,000 people from 120 different countries that signed up to study the Bible. And this was through our website alone. So they're signing up to study on the web, and we're grateful for that. But we had 100,000 plus last year that signed up, so that doesn't equal out to 100,000 yet. But we know that some months are more prominent than others. But I was very pleased to know that we have that much traffic coming to our website. Now, these are not just people that are coming to the website out of curiosity. They're signing up actually to take the course. So we're grateful for that. And I mentioned the Master Series that we have. These are the lesson booklets that are offered. The first 5 deals with teaching a person what they need to know to become a Christian. You notice that 5th one, born of the water and the Spirit, there is, of course, teaching them the final steps of salvation, being born again into Jesus Christ through the water grave of baptism. The latter 2, the family of God and live a life of love, are designed to teach a person to mature after they have become a Christian. And those are designed to tell them about the Lord's church for which He died, their need and responsibility to assemble regularly, to worship, partake of the Lord's Supper, and so forth, and then live a life of love is living the life that you and I are now enjoying as New Testament Christians, doing the works of Jesus and doing good deeds to others and showing them love and compassion. And the best way that we can do that, brethren, is to teach them the gospel of Jesus Christ. I know there are many good things that you and I can become involved in as New Testament Christians, but the Lord tells us to go and make disciples, doesn't He? So that's the thrust of World Bible School. We're all about bringing souls to Jesus, and we are utilizing every means possible because we have some extra helps that we've developed. We have a few Muslims that sign up occasionally online to take our course, and we're grateful for those because we have the opportunity to teach them the truth. So we developed these 2 booklets to help teach Muslims the truth about the prophets of God, of course, and showing that Muhammad was an impostor, and the fact that Jesus is indeed the Messiah. We have the children's series. If a child under the age of 13 signs up to take our course, we automatically recommend that you study these lesson booklets with them to introduce them to Jesus. But we have some supplemental courses that we now have available, and these have just been printed in the past year. Test the spirits, because the Bible tells us to test the spirits, whether they be of God, because, as John writes, many false prophets have gone out into the world. So we have written this book to help you understand the truth versus the error that, of course, is taught by many that are promoting false doctrines and things of that nature. And then we have a lesson booklet that teaches us more about prayer, and this is much needed. Every Christian should pray regularly, and pray powerfully. But as we consider the fact that many of us fail to utilize this great access that we have to God to be able to communicate with Him and to petition Him for our needs as well as thank Him for our blessings. And as we think about the fact that we need to learn to be more prayerful in our lives, because there are many things going on in our world. Our nation is so splintered. Brethren, we need God now more than ever. And this message of Jesus Christ needs to go into the hearts of the men and women in our society, especially those that are promoting so many ungodly things, that I'm fearful that God is going to, take vengeance upon us in some form or fashion. I'm not promoting doomsday or anything like that, but it is so far gone from the Bible that it's just unbelievable. I can't understand how our country has gone so far in the last 20 or 30 or so years. So we need to learn to pray and be more prayerful in our lives, but we also have this guide to New Testament Christianity that is available. And this guide to New Testament Christianity is a very good tool to use in teaching your friends and neighbors the gospel of Jesus. It's much like just giving them a tract, basically, because inside is the information they need to learn about how to become a Christian, and even teaches them, if they're a person that is outside of an area where churches are very prevalent, it teaches them how they can even establish the Lord's church through the body of Christ, Christians meeting together in their own home or a rented facility or whatever the nature might be. But as we consider the usage of Bible correspondence, is this message or method successful? I want to tell you just a few things that I know that have proven, and it's been proven for many, many years, that this teaching method is successful. When I was at the Mayfair congregation in Huntsville back right after Christmas, they had 1,631 baptisms last year alone through their World Bible School program. Now, brethren, they almost doubled the size of their congregation. They have about 16 to 1,800 usually on a Sunday morning. They almost doubled the size of their congregation. Now, they weren't all in Huntsville, Alabama. They're scattered throughout the world, but 1,631 baptisms is a good number for one congregation to produce, and it was all done through their World Bible School teachers. So we appreciate so very much the work that they and others like them are doing. The Beltline congregation in my hometown, Decatur, Alabama, has about 30 to 35 teachers that are teaching World Bible School lessons, and they are doing and concentrating basically upon their local county jail. There's also a work release center there somewhat, and they teach in both of those facilities. But last year alone, every teacher that they had at least one student that obeyed the gospel. Now you think about the fact, if I look around this room, and you do also, you're going to see some brethren that are interested in reaching the lost. But what is the best method? Not all of us are equipped or capable of sitting down one-on-one and having an effective Bible study with someone. All of us aren't capable, as Brother Clark was talking about this morning, of carrying on a conversation out the car window with someone who is promoting something that may or may not be true based upon the Word of God. We may not have that biblical knowledge in the back of our mind to recall all those scriptures and tell them the truth, even though we know the truth. But we think about teaching through World Bible School, and every one of us who can read and write are capable of doing this. If you can take a lesson that someone has filled out and you put a grading key beside it and you make sure that all the correct squared or circles are colored in down that chart, that's all it takes to grade that lesson. Now you are capable or encouraged to write them personal notes or correct any answers that they might have given incorrectly or whatever. But it doesn't take very much at all as far as biblical knowledge to be able to do that. So we look at the idea that World Bible School is providing ordinary Christians, just like each one of us, the opportunity to teach the lost. And that's what we're all about, and we want to do that. But we perhaps haven't known the correct method, or the best method, as I should say, of being able to do that. How do I reach the lost and the masses and the multitudes? So we look at the idea that we can all participate, and working together as the body of Christ, we can teach the world the gospel of our Lord Jesus. We think about also the fact that World Bible School is using the internet, and it's available in every nation of the world. And that, by the way, is where Jesus told us to make disciples, in every nation, wasn't it? So we look at the idea that World Bible School gives us the opportunity to do things that other mission efforts cannot do, because they are not offered in every nation of the world. Now, I'm not criticizing any mission effort that we have, not putting them down in any way, because they're all needed. We all are working together for the same cause. We're not in competition with anyone. But we look at the idea that being prevalent or present in every nation certainly gives us a better opportunity to reach people in that nation. And World Bible School is in every nation of the world through the internet, and people have the opportunity to enroll and take the course online, or they can request to do it through postal mail as well. But World Bible School enrolls over 4,000 American students each month. Now, I think the last time I checked, it was around 4,200 or something like that. But we consider the idea that these are people right here in our own country that are interested in learning about Jesus Christ. And you can have the opportunity to teach them. If you'll enroll as a teacher online, then you can have access to these names, and you can begin to teach people, perhaps even in your own town or own community. But we look at the effectiveness of World Bible School, and we're averaging about 350 baptisms each week around the world. Now, that is nearly what we would like for it to be, but we're grateful for those 350 precious souls that are brought to salvation through their studies. And they, again, are being taught by brethren just like you, ordinary Christians sitting in the pew on Sunday morning and Sunday night and Wednesday nights, that you would look at and say, well, you know, that person just doesn't give me the mental image of an evangelist. But brethren, we're all evangelists. We are all to take the gospel of Christ, and we can do it through World Bible School. And we're grateful for those 350 precious souls every week that are brought to Jesus because of brethren like you. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about the process and how this works. And those of us living in the state of Alabama, we know a little bit about the process, don't we? I think Nick Saban kind of made that famous. But we look at the process of World Bible School. This isn't about developing a football team, but the World Bible School recruits students from around the world, either by newspaper ads or internet ads or by word of mouth, student referrals, and those people sign up to take the course. Now, the student referral is something that I want to mention just briefly. When the brethren that are helping us teach World Bible School lessons, every one of those lessons that you send off has a space on the back when they fill that lesson out and mail it back to you for a referral of one or more people that might also be interested in taking the course. Now, when I was at Beltline a few weeks ago, those brethren told me that they had received back that week, I think it was 189 completed lessons. But out of those 189 lessons that were returned to them, there were 132 referrals on the back of them. So there, again, they are recruiting, those students are, wherever they are in the world, they're recruiting their family members and friends and neighbors, hey, you need to take this course, and they're sending their names in as well. So all of those names are coming in to brethren who are already involved in teaching World Bible School lessons, but the ones that we receive through our office in Cedar Park, Texas, they're accumulated there and then distributed to the respective teachers in whatever congregation they may be located in. Now, those 1.3 million that I showed you number earlier, those all came through our office, but we don't have any idea how many referrals came back to congregations that we were not aware of. So we might have several million students that we don't even know about. But volunteer helpers, study helpers, just like you, ordinary Christians that are interested in saving souls, are taking those lessons and they're grading them, and then they send that lesson back after you grade it, along with the next booklet for the student to complete. And once that process is completed, then you send a certificate of completion to those students. Now, as you're going through those lesson booklets with the students, when you get to about the fifth lesson, fourth or fifth lesson, certainly the fifth one, which is about being born of the water and spirit, then there are questions that you are suggested to ask your student. In fact, I think the fifth lesson asks them plainly, are you interested in being baptized into Christ? If they answer yes, then we have men that are assigned to be our follow-up workers in various countries throughout the world. We have several in some of the countries where we have a large number of students, but these are all volunteer preachers that usually preach somewhere, 2 or 3 congregations during the week, but they will do follow-up work for World Bible School. So if you have a student that has requested to be baptized, you submit that name to our office in Cedar Park, Texas, and they will contact a follow-up worker. Now that follow-up worker will go find that student if possible. Sometimes these people move based upon work availability and things of that nature, and they can't locate them. But if they can find that student, then they will study with them further and make sure that they understand and are ready to be baptized. They don't just go say, hey, you're ready to go to the pond. They go do some further teaching. And after they have understood everything that is involved and their commitment that they're making, then they baptize them into Christ and introduce them to a church nearby. And if there isn't a church nearby, then they will, if they get several students in an area, they will establish a new congregation. So this is how the process works, and you can be a part of that. You can be a part of bringing souls to Jesus Christ. And if you're interested in setting up a postal program, here are some of the things that you're going to need. First of all, you need someone to coordinate the work. In other words, someone that's going to be responsible for sending and receiving the mail, those lessons that are coming back and forth from those students. You will need a room somewhere in the church building perhaps, or in your home even, to set up and organize and store your materials. You will also need to purchase the materials from World Bible School, and this isn't a great money-making thing that we have going on. We sell our materials basically at our own cost. So this is something that we try to keep the cost as low as possible so brethren can afford to do evangelism. And as you order those lesson booklets and grading keys and the things that you will need to carry on a work, then you will also need to purchase some envelopes and postage to mail the lessons back and forth. and sometimes it's quite expensive to mail these abroad. But nonetheless, one soul, as Brother BJ said last night, is worth more than all the world, isn't it? So the cost of postage and things of that nature should not be a bother to us at all. But we think about the time to grade those lessons, and it doesn't take a great deal of time to do that. But you sometimes want to spend some time thinking about how you ought to answer a question that the person has missed or asked. One of those questions on the lesson, maybe they answered incorrectly, and you need to tell them, show them from the Bible how they missed that and what they need to do to understand it more clearly. And then you're going to need some patience, because we think about the fact that you're taking a lesson, you're mailing it to a foreign country, and they have to, in turn, have the time to fill out the next lesson and mail it back to you. So it takes time to get that back and forth. But World Bible School does have some distribution centers that we have established in various countries where we're now capable of scanning those lessons. And it doesn't take the international postage or the time that it is involved in carrying that from one country to the other. So they can scan the lessons to Cedar Park, and we can then scan them to your congregation if you have a scanner in your congregation. So we think about the fact that we need to labor and be patient in what we're doing and in spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, because as any method is involved in teaching the lost, it takes patience, doesn't it? Not everyone is as responsive, perhaps, as others are. But if you want to be an internet teacher, then you can go to our website, worldbibleschool.net. And as you click on there, then you will find this page that I have, and this button says Help Someone Study. You click on that and you register as a teacher for World Bible School. They will ask you some questions, and we want to make sure that you are a good, faithful member of the Lord's church before we actually give you the opportunity to teach in the name of World Bible School. But once you have been approved, then you have access to worldbibleschool.org, and you can go to this website initially if you want to. But you go to worldbibleschool.org, and this is where you find what we call our student board. Now, as you log in, you will be given a password that you can log in as a study helper for World Bible School. Once you do that, you have access to our student board. And this is just two examples here that I'm showing. But notice the information that is provided for each student. It tells you what country they're from. It tells you basically their age, if they provide that. And it tells you also about how far along they are in their progress. Now, you notice the blue button there says Encourage. Every student is supposed to receive 3 messages of encouragement from a World Bible School teacher. Not necessarily you sending them 3, but 3 different people, because we want to encourage them to complete their studies and continue with it. So once they receive 3 encouragements, then they are available for adoption. We look at that student board, and you'll see more than these students, but over on the right-hand side there's a column that you can filter those students. If you are looking for a student that is ready to be adopted, already has completed the introductory lesson, then you click on the button there that says Completed Intro. And when you click on that, you're going to get the list that is already filtered out, and those are going to be the only people that are there. So once you decide which students you want, what gender you want to teach, then you click that green Adopt button, and they become your student. And then you go back the next time to the student board, and you can find those students that you've adopted, and you can begin to teach them. Now I want to tell you about something else that World Bible School has to offer to extend and expand our teaching abilities and opportunities for you to evangelize anywhere in the world. We have a program called WBS Connect that gives you the opportunity, you as a congregation, to target any area in the world. If you want to do it in Saraland, or if you want to do it in Mobile, or if you want to do it in the entire state of Alabama, or if you want to do it in some country overseas somewhere, you can target any area of the world through World Bible School. We will set this program up for you, and your congregation will have a separate URL address, a website, free of charge. We will begin to advertise on the internet at no cost to you for potential students. Anyone in your targeted area will be able to sign up and study World Bible School lessons. Now, these are some samples of the ads that we provide. You're certainly welcome to use your own. Many people have business cards printed up with their URL address on there, and they'll leave those in places of business. People can pick them up and log on, and anyone who signs up to become a student will become available only to your teachers in your congregation. Now, I want to show you also that a couple years ago, we came up with a Bible that we had the opportunity to have printed at a very low cost. This is an English Standard Version of the Bible, and I'm not sure how much of a fan you are of the ESV, but it was something that we needed to provide for foreign students that was in easy-to-read English. And this was the best version that we could find available. And we had this printed, but we had to order 20,000 initially. So we got those, and we weren't going to use but like 2,500 of them to begin with. And we decided to offer them for sale to our brethren. So they are available and still are for $5 each plus shipping. Now these have become very popular among our brethren. Many people are purchasing those for gifts, for award Bibles, and providing them free to their community and neighborhood, because at a cost of $5 plus shipping, it's much like just handing out a tract, basically. But we also have a prison ministry version that is available as well for the same price. You say, why a prison ministry version? Well, I will show you on the back of the binding of this little brown back Bible we have, there is a gap that someone, prison wardens have said people could slide a file or whatever. So we had a paperback version printed that is quite different, and it doesn't have that problem. These, again, are available for $5 each plus shipping. So if you are interested in these, you can order them from World Bible School, and in the back we have a section called Going Deeper, and each one of those sections there is the same as the lesson titles of our booklets. It's a deeper study into each one of those subjects. We also have in the back of the Bible a guide to New Testament Christianity that I already mentioned that little green booklet contains, and it teaches people what they need to do to obey the gospel. And we've had several conversions simply by people studying the guide to New Testament Christianity that we know about. But we're beginning this year on a campaign for Bibles for Millions, and we're going to be giving away Bibles primarily to Americans. These people that are signing up on the internet, we want more people in America to sign up on the internet to study the Bible. And we're going to offer them a free Bible if they will sign up to take the course. Now, this is something that's going to be quite expensive, and we need support from brethren like yourselves to be able to do that, but we want to put the Bible into the hands of all the people that we can, because that is what our primary goal is to teach them the gospel of Christ. And even though we can't meet them face to face necessarily, we can put this Bible in their hand, and it already has the teaching tools in the back that can bring them to Jesus as well. So we are beginning this program this year, and hopefully we're going to be able to give away 1 million Bibles in the near future. But I want you to look at our name, World Bible School. The world is the scope of our mission. The Bible is the tool of our mission, and the school is the teaching method of our mission. When we look at that, we realize that you and I can be a part of that. You can be a part of providing the Bible. You can be a part of teaching. So I ask you to please get involved with the greatest mission on earth, and that is taking the gospel to every creature in this world. And you can do that by being a teacher or by being a supporter. And here is how you can become involved. If you're interested in doing the postal work, you contact our secretary, Sherry Hayes, at these numbers. And if you're interested in doing the internet teaching, you can get online and sign up by going to worldbibleschool.net. But this is what we're all about reaching souls. And that's what you can be all about if you will become involved with us and become a part of us. And one thing I want to tell you about that is going to be taking place later on this year, we're going to be hosting in Austin, Texas, a Global Missions Conference. Now, I know you're interested in missions or you wouldn't be here today, but if you want to attend this event, there are going to be mission efforts that are present and promoting their works from all around the world. A Global Mission Conference in Austin, Texas. So you can put that date down, October 10 through 12, if you're interested in attending that. I thank you for your attention. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here with you and to tell you about this good work. If you have any questions, I'll be around for a little bit, and you're certainly welcome to ask anything you would like. And again, if you want some of these Bibles, they're certainly available. You can order them from World Bible School. So simply call that 1-800 number I had on the screen, and you can tell them how many you want, and they will ship those to you. Thank you very much.